Right. That's crazy.
Absurd. The first real car note I ever had after, like, when my car went out, drove to LA and my transmission went out, I had to buy a car. I got that car, and that was part of my come to Jesus moment where I said, I'm gonna figure stuff out. 29% interest. I
That's
signed
usury.
20 usury, but guess what? That's what happens when you don't manage your credit.
That's true.
But I had a conversation, because when I started learning the credit game and realizing I could go to a credit union, this is a tip for people if they're watching.
Yeah.
You can go to your local credit union. I had a credit union account with a savings account with $25 in it, right? For like 5 years. I had never used it because I was like, well, it's a credit union and they're not everywhere, and I travel around the world, so it's not going to do me any good. I'm going to keep banking major bank, right? I ended up calling and talking to a lady, and I was introduced to someone that was patient enough to take time. When she helped me understand how important and crucial credit unions are to people that are trying to establish, heal, nourish, and strengthen their credit.
Yeah.
Credit unions, that's about relationship.
Yes.
You can walk in Wells Fargo and you can try to get a loan with Wells Fargo. And even if they approve you because you have good credit, it may take you a couple of weeks before you actually get that money put into your account.
Yes.
When you establish a relationship with a credit union, you can go in, apply, sit there, and in 45 minutes, you walk out with that money in your account.
See?
You walk out. You can establish a relationship with an actual person that can become your personal person. I got to the point, once I started understanding this game, I would literally go in, I would call, make an appointment with my personal banker. I started banking completely with them. And to get back to that 29% interest, one of the first tips the lady told me, and this is a tip for everybody that's listening.
Yes.
She told me you can establish a relationship with a credit union. If you put your money in and it's direct deposit, all the money that's coming in, she told me, she said, young lady, the best thing I can tell you to do is take the loan. Take that loan at 29% interest. Start banking. Take all your money out of that other bank or leave some of it, but make sure all of your direct deposits come through. Start banking with us consistently.
Yeah.
And I promise you, she said, I promise you, in 6 months, we will refinance that loan for you. She said, but you cannot be late. She said to me, she went back just like the person that changed my life with the one conversation.
Yeah.
Said, don't be late on another payment.
Look at that.
She said it has to stop now. She said if you make that car payment on time for the next 6 months, I promise you. I did what she told me to. And do you know, it was like 7 months later, I got a call from that bank, the credit union. And the person was like, hi, I'm calling to speak to, Brandy Wild. And I was like, yes, we're calling because we see that you have a 2000 blah, 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 Lexus RX, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
If you would like to refinance it to lower payment, and we're going to offer you I think it was 8.9% interest.
Okay, that's way better than a 29.
Hello?
Yes.
I have been working on my credits like this for
6 months.
6.5, almost 7 months.
Yeah.
8% interest, so it's almost 9%. And then they were like, and we'll give you $1,000 back today in your checking account if you would like it. When we refinance you, we'll give you $1,000 back. And then my payment ended up being, if I'm not mistaken, my payment was almost $200 less a month. Yes.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
You see what I'm saying? And now I had gotten used to paying that. So now I had $200 more, and I could decide, what are you going to do with this? Are you going to start spending more? Are you going to start buying more?
Right.
More, or are you going to be smart? So
you have to be responsible.
You see what I'm saying? But I had a made up mind by then. I started understanding how important my credit was. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna start paying down the credit card stuff I have, because I don't want to owe nothing on them. I just want to have credit cards, but I want them to be zero. So I started putting that extra $200 I had been paying on my car note. I didn't act like I had $200 extra. I started diverting that money to other places. You see what I'm saying? And then when I started learning, and then within like another year and a half or something, I ended up I was able to, as a matter of fact, in a year and a half, I ended up refining again because I got a new car or something like that. Then guess what? For what I was paying, because at first I did not have a Lexus. I actually had a Ford Escape. It was I love that car.
Sure.
I had a Ford Escape at the time, and I had to get that car. It was a really, really nice car, but I needed it because I was living in LA and I was driving around a celebrity. So I had to have a certain kind of car. I couldn't have
Sure. I get it.
It was really nice. I ended up, one car I always had wanted was a Lexus RX 350. And this is material, but to prove it, I want to show people how important your credit score is.
Yes, yes.
Don't get hung up on the fact that I upgraded
Right.
my car. I did, and that's something I wanted. But I upgraded to a much more, I guess you would call it, expensive car. When I upgraded that car, I did trade in that car.
Mm-hmm.
Because I toured, I barely had any miles because I never drove my car hardly.
Sure, sure.
Paid me a lot of money for that vehicle. I only was upside down, which that gets into something else.
Yeah.
About 2,000. I rolled it in. Even with rolling if I rolled in $3,000 into that, right? And I paid money down, so I really took away from what they rolled into it.
Sure.
I went from driving a Ford Escape to a Lexus RX
350. Yeah.
And my car note was $10 more a month, and my interest rate was like 6-point-something%.
See what I mean? Talking about the power of credit.
So less than 2 years before, I had a 29% interest credit card.
Right.
And I only had access to $1,000 worth. I mean, not credit card, auto loan.
Auto loan, yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then I had $1,000 worth of credit extended to me a year and a half before that. When I was in that car, at that point, I had somewhere about almost $15,000 worth of credit.
Wow.
And but you see how when you work on it, it changes your life.
Yes.
I was driving a car that was $10 more a month.
Wow.
And interest rate now
and much more expensive too.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. So it's like there are things you can do. If you're not trying to have a whole bunch of credit at your disposal. If you're not you got your one house that you have now. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's when you got the house, you had a 630 or 640 credit score.
Mm-hmm.
But now you can be working on your credit score and get it up to a 700 or a 725 or 7. Mm-hmm. Why? So you can take advantage of these historically low home rates.
Yes.
Refinance your house.
Yes.
And down your interest rate, which will down your payment. And now you have more money to put in your 401k, your IRA, to buy your child braces, pay the installment on the braces, pay for, whatever. Have money to pay your bills. It's like
buy another investment property.
There you go. Get another property because the interest rates are so low. Find ways to leverage. It's not all about sometimes getting a whole lot more, but it's about taking what you have and figuring out how to do with it.
Yes.
Gives you that ability. Mm-hmm. Credit saves you money. A lot of people don't know. They check your credit. They don't just ask you about your credit when you get car insurance for nothing.
Right.
Credit. And sometimes they don't even need it. All they got to do is link your driver's license number, and if you're already in the system, they pull your credit. You don't even know until if you're paying attention to your credit report. You see that they pull.
You got a hit. Yep, exactly. You got an inquiry.
Yeah, and so it's like, they use that for that. If you're not at the age where you want to be a homeowner, or maybe you have some financial things you need to take care of first.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get an apartment or you're trying to get a house and you're trying to get a house, your credit, they're going to check.
They're looking at that. Yes.
If you have a credit risk, if you are in one of the classification that classifies you as a possible credit risk, they're going to charge you more to get in that house.
That's true.
1 month all the way. I've seen people, one person told me they had to pay like 7 months ahead. 7 months. Can you imagine?
A security deposit?
Yes. And you know what they did? They had to wait until they got a tax return. And they took their whole tax return. I think maybe their rent was like $1,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
The rent is not anything like it is up north.
Right.
That's why. Imagine having to put $7,000 down.
I know.
And your rent is only $1,000. And
can I say that is a down payment? Okay, that's down payment money
to buy a house. But do you see how important this is? And that's why it's so important to our community. That's
exactly.
Why it's called a Black Credit Conversation, because I'm talking to us.
Yeah.
Anybody can listen, but I'm talking to us.
Yes.
Yes. It's empowering. And then when you fix your credit, then learn how to put your child. If you got a child that's 15 or older, most people don't even realize their child is 15 or older. You can add them as an authorized user to a credit card account.
And that's going to help their credit when they jump out the gates at 18.
There you go. And guess what you do? You don't give them the card so they don't go out and use it and spend it up.
Right.
But what you do is you start teaching them when you go to pay the credit card bill, help them understand, pull your credit report. Because that's how you empower them. And then they'll start to, because when I work with people now, the most rewarding thing is for somebody to call me, text me, email me, and say how it's changed their life and how they stalk their credit score now. Like, I'll sit up sometime in the darkness. You know how we look at our phones at night, and I'll be in my bed.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking, and if I see, don't let me see something, I'm like, hold up, why did it go down a couple of points? Like, wait, hold up, let me see, you know. And when I'm gonna sit up and be like, hold up, what?
Yeah.
Hey, come on, you know? It's like, it's because it gives you life, because you understand. You don't have to use it, but it's like I say, credit is not a trap. It's a tool.
Yes.
And just like a tool, not only can a tool do some really amazing and wonderful things for you and help you build or whatever, a tool is also only needed when you need it.
That's true.
So I'm saying, nobody walks around with a jackhammer all day. You don't walk around, unless you're a carpenter and that's what you do for a living, you don't walk around with a hammer. But I bet you got a hammer somewhere at your house.
Yes.
Right? We got
waiting to hit a nail. It's just waiting to hit a nail.
When you need to, right?
Right.
That's what I teach people. Credit is a tool.
Yes.
Take it out the box all the time, but when you got to take it out, the worst thing in the world is to need a hammer and you go and you find it's all rusty, dusty, broken. It's warped. You can't. And then guess what? When it's warped, when it's something wrong with it, if you're trying to hit a nail and make it go back down, if it's not straight, if it's not in good condition, it's not going to do what you need it to do. You can't hit that nail and have the impact you need to secure.
That's true. Come on.
My help coming, like, you see, I ain't never used that analogy. That just hit me, but think about it. He worked. Come on, like, but it's like, you know, hey, we grew up in church, like,
right.
Come on, Jesus, like, but
oh my gosh,
and you secure it. You ever had a loose board on some wood and you hit it?
Yes.
Secure again.
Yep.
But that's what credit can do for you.
That's true.
We try to secure their future. You're helping people to secure their future by becoming homeowners.
Yep.
By getting a piece of this American dream. And that's something, once you get it and you learn how to protect your home and take care of it, once you get them in the house, it's up to them to maintain it.
That's true.
Pay their taxes, pay their bills, keep the gutters clean, keep it nice.
Yep.
Why? Because the value goes up.
Yep.
And it gives you power, it gives you leverage. And what I'm trying to teach cats is, look, I don't care how jacked up your credit is.
Yes.
Start here.
Yes.
Start today. Because when people call me, I have people that be like, because we do face-to-face. Unless you do like a free 15-minute chit-chat, we do that on the phone. Everything else, I like to see people. For one, I want to see who you're talking to. And then two, I want to connect with you.
Right.
Look at you. I can see despair. I can see embarrassment. I can see when people get dejected, like they feel like they're giving up, that they're lost. I've had people that we literally sit there, first time ever talking to them, they'll be like, I'm just so embarrassed. I can't talk.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I say though? I said, it's fine. I said, you already paid me. We got
no judgment zone.
No, it is. But I say, you know what? Just sit there. You don't have to say nothing. I said, I got your money. So if you just want to sit here and look at me and not say nothing.
Oh my God.
Go ahead. And we sit there and laugh and they'll joke and stuff. And I said, because it's the thing. I said, what does my opinion matter?
Yes.
Like, do you care more about your future and how you can whatever, or do you care about what I think about you?
Right.
Understand this. All the people that you think are judging you about your credit, those people got their own life issues.
Mm-hmm.
And you
know, it's funny because we talking about using credit as a tool, but then why not use Black Credit Conversation as a tool to get your credit right?
Hey,
you see what I'm saying?
I'm like, come on now. Talk to him. I feel you.
You know, I mean, we're here to help people, and that's exactly what the thrust of this conversation is about. And all of these conversations that we're having, there's so many people who have that pain of not being able to afford the things that they want, not being able to obtain the things that they want, because there are so many things holding them back. And credit is a major part of that. You know, credit is a pain point for a lot of people. So that's why I'm so happy we're having this conversation. Let me ask you this, B. What stories do you have, right? Give me one story that of which you were able to help a client, you know, from where they were, one that makes you feel real good? I mean, I know all of them make you feel good, but give me a story that we can share in and kind of experience that too.
Okay. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna give you two, and they both gonna be quick. I'm long,
All right.
I'm gonna make them short. First one was I had a woman that she is over 70 years old.
Okay.
She owns her own business, and her credit was struggling, right? As a small business owner and being older, sometimes opportunities for credit extension isn't as great for you sometimes if you don't have collateral and money.
Yes.
Started working on her credit in November of 2019. She was in the fives. November 2019, she was in the fives. Today, she is at 750 something. 750 something. She had access to $1,000, I think $250 worth of credit when we started. She now has access to over $11,000 worth of credit lines.
Wow.
And we were able to get her approved for an EIDL from the Small Business Association, and that money just hit her account last week. And now she's able to expand her business. She has money from the Small Business Administration, which is really hard to get in with them.
Oh my gosh.
COVID-19, they're making sessions and allowing that application process to be less strenuous. And so as a result of that, now she's branding her company, and she has an amazing, she does amazing work in her community helping people. But because of her age, because she went and got her master's at that age, you know, she was with the student loan debt and the different things she was struggling with, were leery to give her credit. But because her credit was kind of crippled and struggling, and I told her, if we just kind of fix what's going on, I guarantee, I said, I don't make promises and I don't whatever, but I'm pretty sure based on my own personal, that's all this is. This is based on my own personal experience and struggles and learning and the triumphs that came out of all the bad decisions I made and learning to make different ones and researching. And she called me, and she could barely talk. She was so overwhelmed with just gratitude for where her life was. And I told her, you know what? It's cool that you're thanking me, but I just be grateful. I'm glad you decided to make this move for yourself.
Because she did the work.
Yes, she did the work. I gave her the information, and I walked her along, but she did the work. And that's empowerment. And now she's able to brand her business, and she has operating capital. Another one, quick story, woman, well-established business, amazing, talented, super successful, almost 50 years old. Guess what? Did not have any personal credit, Sam.
Oh, wow.
Built a business 50. At 50, built a business using cash and just figuring out how we do, because why? This is a successful Black woman in business that had learned how to make things happen. And she had like some business credit she was able to get, because there are some ways you can kind of work around and do whatever. Sure. I can teach people and talk to them about that too. But it came to a point where she needed to try to expand, and the only way she could expand was they wanted her personal credit.
See?
And that's when she was faced with a situation. She had her whole almost 50 years old. Yeah. And she gotten around it. And all of a sudden she could not get around it anymore. And so when we were talking and we had the conversation, we started doing things, some totally legitimate methods and secrets or tips. I shared them with her. We had the conversation. 45 days later, she had a 0 Equifax score.
Oh, wow.
That score is now a 747.
Come on.
45 days. We're going into, it's almost been, I think, June 16th was when we started talking. July, August. So August 16th, it'll be 2 months.
See?
August 16th.
Wow.
And that's what I'm telling people. And it doesn't always happen like that. I have clients where we have to work for a year, and we strategically do stuff, because it's more so about they don't have collections, they don't have lien, but it's just how they use their credit. They may have fallen into some hard times, and so history will heal your credit. Time heals your credit, and other things you can do to help bolster it in the meantime. So I empower people to empower themselves by understanding the things that are out there for them to build and nourish and strengthen their credit.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me ask you this, B, and I'm going to let you go because I know you're busy. I mean, that phone been dinging all interview long. But let me ask you this. Can consumers contact you to help them like with their credit? Like how can they reach out to you?
Absolutely. You can reach me on the web. I'm at www.blackcreditconversation.com. You can reach me on Facebook, Black Credit Conversation, and then Instagram, Black Credit Conversation. And they can also shoot me a text. You can do a text intro, and that number is 404-941-1862. So that's 404.
That information will be right here. It'll be right here.
Thank you. And tell them, reach out. You can schedule a consultation. I do what's called a 15-minute chit chat where it's free. We hop on the phone and you just tell me some of the things you have going on, and I'll let you know, okay, I think I can help you, figure that out and help you work. Sure. And then you can go online. Everything can be done online. Schedule in a chit chat. I don't do anything on the phone usually because people go in there and schedule so quickly that I've made a mistake of trying to take, like appointments over the phone, and then someone's already paid and schedule an appointment. So they can do everything online. You can schedule that one-on-one conversations, and then I also offer something called a group conversation.
Okay.
Discounted rate. If people do 4 or more people, then it's a lower price, and we have the conversation as a group. And what I find is those group sessions are so empowering because when people kind of like, I call it a no judgment zone. Leave your ego at the door. Like if you think that whatever, you're in a better situation, this is what it is. And people start off kind of, and it's actually story, and people start to laugh and joke.
They warm up,
because then they've done some of the similar things too, or they've done some of the same things, and before you know it, you got people. Imagine this: you got your family, your homeboys, your homegirls, people you know your whole life, right? Just think about how many of y'all have actually sat down and had a conversation about y'all credit and finance. Right. You know what I'm saying?
It's very rare. You can count it on one hand. Exactly.
Very rare, right? But imagine having that conversation and somebody your entire life and you never knew they were struggling with that.
Right.
And they never knew you were struggling with that.
Yeah.
That brings y'all closer together.
Yes.
It takes away some of the heaviness and the weight of the
the apprehension.
Yeah. It's just like, and then you start sharing information, and then y'all start helping each other, and then y'all get and go, and then we work together, and y'all can work together and check on each other. And
you it's like almost having an accountability partner.
Yes, that's all it is, and it's accountability, and it's imagine this, and this is the last thing I tell people. One of the biggest things that affects Black wealth is when one person in a family, for whatever reason, they decide they want a different path for their life, right?
Yes.
And they get their credit straight. They create opportunities. God blesses them to be able to start to move up in their careers. They become successful and financially, stable. You may not be wealthy or rich, but you got,
Yeah.
If you're the only person in your family and in your circle and in your core that's in that situation, you're the person that everybody comes to when they need financial support and assistance, right? Not only can it over time weigh on you emotionally and mentally, there is a big repercussion financially that a lot of people don't think about long term. And it's not that you don't want to help people and do that, but what we have to understand is that wealth gap, there's a 10-time difference of wealth gap anyway. Just because of our system of the history of racism, right? But say, for example, Sam Cofer, and this is just hypothetically speaking. If you're giving all of the money and resources you have to everybody else around you, even though you may be able to afford to do it, you can't put more money into your 401k, your Roth, your IRA, to the stock market, to your children's college fund, to your savings account, to take your wife on a trip. There are certain things you can't do because you sacrifice that gift to give it to somebody else. But this is what happens. When you know the knowledge and you start to empower the people around you, all of y'all rise up together.
See?
Everybody does it. And that's why this conversation is so important to me. Because when I got this knowledge, I didn't keep it to myself. I could have. But you know what I was like? Because I don't believe in the crab in the book. I was telling everybody to the point where I was getting on people's nerves. And I was stopped. And that's how I ended up doing it. Because people were like, you should tell. This is your passion. Yeah, you on the road traveling with this person and that person. And you're doing this. But this is at my core. This is what I love because I know what it did for me. Like, it changed my life. It set me free. Like the dude, remember the dude? And he was like, I don't do this. I'm delivered.
Right. Oh my God.
Delivered, y'all. I'm gonna tell the whole world. I've been delivered.
She been delivered.
Delivered. And so when you delivered, when you've been set free, when you want the whole world to know. And so I want everybody to know the power in having good credit and
That's
what
true.
that does. Because when you do it, it changes your life.
Yes. Man, look, B, I wish we had more time, and we got to do this again. But that right there is a great ending point, because you provided everybody, and me too, I got my part too, but you provided everybody who ends up watching this with some golden nuggets of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And it's much appreciated, and it's free. Like, they getting this free, right? This is free. But I would admonish them to reach out to you and take one of your courses, talk to you, reach out and get some more information, because once you get that information, you can share it with those around you, right? You see what I'm saying? And that's going to benefit your whole circle.
That's it. Help everybody up. Everybody, like when you reach back, reach down, reach around.
Reach all around you,
When we do this, when everybody's having a conversation,
now
we all rise. Because we're already a powerful collective.
That's true.
Because so imagine when we get this piece. You know what I'm saying? Imagine this one big, small piece.
Yes.
We're already unstoppable, Sam, but
I know.
more people understand this and stop being afraid. We're gonna be unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
You talking about Black Wall Street. You talking about, the land used to what's now considered, Central Park. They used to belong. Don't make me start. Like, let me go. I ain't gonna hold you.
All right, B. Well, look, I appreciate everything, and we're gonna definitely do this again.
Anytime.
We'll definitely do this again. I really appreciate everything. You take care. Tell Rob I said what's up, and we'll talk soon.
Tell Kim, tell everybody I love y'all.
Love you too.
Doing your thing. I'm so proud of you. You changing lives.
Much appreciated. You too.
Absolutely. Take care.
All right, B.
All right now.
All right. Bye-bye.